Ladies and gentlemen, this is Envoy of Kairos, back for more Terraria, and I know it's odd that I'm getting straight into the accelerated footage for the speed build right away, but the audio you're hearing right now is added in post because I somehow lost the footage for the first part of this, although it was just setting up this little oasis pond and the platform in the middle, plus using the Gemspark blocks as the basic layout and map for what I'm doing for this build. As for what the plan is, I did a bit of rolling, and what I decided on for the theme for the desert village is the Bizarre Bazaar. If you know where that's from, you already have an idea of what you should probably expect from the various merchant tents that are outlined on the bottom. As for which NPCs are going to be in here, the only ones remaining are the dye trader, the stylist, the nurse, and the arms dealer. All four of them fit wonderfully into the desert biome. All of them love it, a lot of them get along with each other quite well, and they're rather well suited to the theming of this town in general, so it all works out pretty great. For now, I'll cut the commentary and just let you guys enjoy the build. I had a lot of fun with this one, and the end results are fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I have now completed the first two houses, and so far they're looking pretty good. So of course here we have the dye trader's house. Since this is being set up as a bazaar, he has his shop down on street level here beneath his house. He's got a pretty sizable and comfortable one here. Overall, I'm liking the general design and all of the cloth hanging everywhere in the same color as his own clothes. Blue and purple dyes are particularly difficult for someone living in the desert to get their hands on, so this is definitely nice for him. He's got his own little garden up here. If it were possible to set up a tank full of mollusks for the purple dye, I would, but that's just not a thing in the game. Sadly. I've seen a couple mods, I think, but not in base game. Of course, I had to go with largely mahogany wood for his interior, as, well, the dye trader actually has some comments about mahogany and only using high-quality materials like that in his dialogue. So it was kind of a no-brainer. Of course, in the shop itself, I've got a ton of major dye components collected here, and there is technically a shop interior, but it's through that dark door, you really can't get into it. Overall, it looks wonderful, though. As the centerpiece, of course, we have our pylon, and this episode I'll yet be setting up the tree equivalent for this biome over it, which in this case will actually be a giant cactus to vary things up a bit. Then, for the oasis, I wanted to make something complex holding up the platform for the cactus. And you might have noticed in the footage earlier I had topaz gemspark blocks down here. I went back and replaced that with amber just a few moments ago because I realized amber is generally a more fitting stone for this, and that also means I need to replace all of this topaz. So that's going to take me a minute. But I'll do that after, well, I'll finish that after describing what I've done over here with... Shit, I destroyed one of the sandstone blocks. And... there we go. Okay, so the nurse over here. I've given her a nice little place. It's cozy. It's got room for potential customers in a waiting room. A little office here with a nice view of the cactus for a bit of comfort because it's supposed to be sort of a holy location for this area. Her kitchen is shared with her customers and such because she wants them to know that she's serious about caring for them, and prepares food right here for everybody. Patients and anyone out here included. Small bathroom, but don't need much, especially when you're in the desert and water is a limited resource. Then, of course, I set up a garden up here that's much more substantial than his, largely because his stuff actually had to be planted in dirt blocks instead of planters that can be walked in front of. But for hers, all of them are potion materials for various health potions, including health potions themselves, restoration, and life force potions. All very useful for a nurse. I'm going to come through here with paint later as well and get all of these bottles both in her house and in the tent here. As this tent is supposed to be... well, I did say this was being set up as a bazaar, and this is somebody coming in with their own health potions and basically taking away her work, but she does it better, so they go to her anyway. Overall, I'm loving this build so far, but there's so much more to do. For this episode, though, I think I'll just finish up with painting all of those and such, and setting up the centerpiece of the town right here, as well as the building standing behind it that won't really have any function. It's just there for adding dimension to the whole piece. So let's get right to that. Okay, so not the most complex edition, but I think it looks pretty good. The giant cactus over the pylon as the sacred tree equivalent for the desert biome looks pretty good. And then I've surrounded it with multiple cactus-based light sources with the lights shut off just to look like there's smaller ones growing all around it. Then, you might notice that the cactus flower color is a bit different, but that's because I wanted to turn it the same color as the gem theme for the pylon. So all of it's been turned amber. And I think it looks pretty good. Top that off with the old cathedral in the background. Made sure to use some white paint on the gray brick walls to brighten up those background pieces, to bring them forward a bit more and leave them as lit as you'd expect in the desert. And then, of course, because the most abundant gem in this area is still amber, I decided to use that for the stained glass as well. The gargoyles are suspended on echo blocks, and I'd say it all comes together quite nicely. I might make a couple of changes later before I start recording the next segment in a few days, but as this is, I'm pretty satisfied. And I can't wait to see how it all comes together when I get the 2 remaining houses and all of the merchants' tents around it set up. Not to mention a couple of interesting other additions I'll be putting in around here. But for now, this is Envoy of Kairos signing out, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another episode. Later, guys. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking to support me a little further, maybe get some bonus content, or just keep up with me and other fans, you can find links down in the description leading to my Patreon, my Discord, and my Twitter. And, if you're following me on Patreon, then you can expect some content polls to decide what's coming up on the channel yet. A little bit of background additions to some other series I've been working on, some more original and creative stuff. And who knows, if enough of you start supporting me soon, I might have a few other surprises up my sleeve too. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again on the next video.